So hello folks, welcome to the online English 101 announcements for this week. We're going to be talking here a bit about Module 2, Lesson 3, that reflection assignment, and then looking ahead to the literacy narrative in Lesson 4. So first, I really appreciated those of you who tried to answer question 3 by focusing on your own analysis, your own, looking at the rubric and kind of thinking about your own stuff for yourself, rather than just complaining that you didn't get any feedback. That said, I saw some common things in that assignment. The rubric is really vague in places, and the difference between an A and a B is really small. And so I agree with you on that. I'm not a huge fan of this rubric. I would use something else if I were doing this class a different way. But we're all in the English 101 class from Gateway. We're all teaching with the same rubrics and the same structure of class, except for these announcements that I'm doing. So the thing you need to remember again is grading is subjective, and not only do different people have different ideas of what an A and a B look like and things like that, but even at different times a grader can have different things that jump out at them and make them make that subjective call. So think about that, and then also remember, as I think I said before, you can do a good job on something and still not rise to that level of specialness that warrants an A. That, and let's see, I got a lot of variations on things like what did I do wrong, or what exact mistakes did I make that bumped me down on this rubric. Some people said I learned best by being told exactly what to fix or exactly what I got wrong, and I understand that, and I know that I'm quite sure that you're used to having this pointed out to you in high school. This is college though, so you need to find ways to start being responsible for analyzing your own work, which is kind of what this assignment was asking you to do, and then to seek out resources to help you, whether that's with areas of writing you struggle with or whatever, but to be more kind of self-sufficient. Now, if you don't know what areas there are that you really struggle with, or if there's so many that you just don't even know where to start, I'm going to suggest that you work with a tutor. We have many really good tutors here at Gateway, and you may have some with your high school. I don't send people to tutors because they're slow or they're struggling or anything like that. I think for writing, tutors can really help you sort of move to a next level by being able to, let you bounce ideas off of them. They're not just pouring knowledge into your head. You're sort of working together, and that's really that kind of conversation. You will learn to do some of that kind of conversation for yourself if you get some practice with it. So, they're not going to go through and mark all your errors or anything like that, but they can help you understand maybe the big error, to start with, and what it is and how to find it and how to edit for it, whether that's comma splices or fragments or just commonly confused words or other things like that. And they can suggest ways that you can learn the rule and, target that while you're editing. So that's one of the things I would say. That said, if you are really serious about wanting my feedback, then let's schedule a conference. I'll expect you to come to me just as if it were any revision conference where you're looking at the rubric, you're looking at where you think you fell short, where you would have put yourself on that rubric, and just kind of where you fell short, whether that's of kind of the average or the sort of near perfection, the difference between an A and a B. You're not obligated to do a revision just because you come to this conference. But remember that I won't process a revision unless we have had a conference. So you can come to this conference just because you want to understand some of the big things that I would suggest you work with first. I can show you some tips and things that I use and some tools that may be helpful. So I welcome that. Please do that. Looking ahead, we have the literacy narrative, which is due Friday, October the 6th at noon. So here's what I'd say about that. I urge you, first of all, if you haven't looked at them yet, the literacy narratives folder that's in the Professor Down area at the top of the course, just you look in there, and there's a lot of things that may help you. This, I believe, may be a way for you to structure some things, maybe some of your reflections around certain beliefs that you hold about writing, because what we believe affects what we do, but also what we believe is how we interpret the world. And maybe at some point you picked up this belief and that might be worth reflecting on and seeing what you think. So think about that. Just like last time with the other essay, if this essay isn't focused, it's not going to be successful. So remember that for a literacy narrative to be successful, you need three things. You need a story, which includes all the things that make a story work, like, narrative elements like scene, sensory detail, emotional connection, characters who talk to each other, perhaps a structure and an appropriate kind of organization. Maybe it's not lockstep linear. We are very used to seeing things that are flashbacks in both things that we read and things that we consume, like movies even. So, but whatever you're using, it needs to be in service of that story, and it needs to help the reader understand the story elements. The next thing you need is a point that is connected to the story that you're telling, and then reflection, deep reflection on that point. And turning point materials, I think, provide the best material for, the focus, for reflection, and just for kind of the sensory elements in story. So I hope that you will use this essay to explore something about your own literacy, something you can use to help you understand maybe how you are and why you do certain things as a writer, a reader, or a scholar, and what you might want to change. If you didn't know it, the word essay does not come from, boring school up thing that I have to write. It also doesn't come from sort of people being absolutely sure of whatever it is. It comes from the 16th century, in a French Renaissance humanist called Montaigne. And he actually created this kind of form. It looked very different than it looks like a school essay, but the word means to try. And all he was trying to do at that time, when a lot of ideas and a lot of new sort of cultural things were, people had exposure to them for the first time. And so he was curious about everything, which was awesome. And it's not about having all the answers, like maybe you've been taught that you have to have for an essay to be successful for school. Here's your thesis and here's all the, laying everything out. But his was about exploring good questions. And this kind of essay is like that. So keep that in mind. Let's see what else. Yeah, so just a reminder, please do not send me messages through Blackboard. I won't respond to them, and that's not because I'm being mean or something. It's because it's really not fair. I may see it, I may not, but I want to treat everyone equally. And so if I see it 3 weeks later, it's probably not going to help you. So just get in the habit of using the professor's email. That's what it says in the syllabus. I'm happy if you send me emails with your Boone County account. But I was thinking today, if I haven't said it before, I had a Boone County account at one time, and I had to have it in order to log in to the Wi-Fi at Ignite when I taught some classes out there. And I do not even know how to get into that account anymore. So just make sure that you're using my KCTCS email. It's possible that if you type, my name in there, that one's going to suggest, because it's in the Boone County system. Just make sure you look at the end of it and that you're using KCTCS instead. So let's see. All I have left to say really is enjoy the invention and drafting this week. Hopefully you'll have some time to do some peer response work. Maybe you'll have some time to do some revision and editing based on that response work. But whatever, I just will enjoy looking forward to reading your papers at the end of the week. Let me know if you have any questions, folks, and thanks.